Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to King Arthur Pendragon, week number 8.
Yay!
Yeah.
And it looks like both my sound and y'all's sound is working, so as soon as chat can
Yay.
confirm that for us, then we'll be all set.
Hi, chat.
Hello,
What's up,
chat.
Chad?
Good morning. How are you? We are excited to be here. So I guess normally I would ask you all how your last week went, but I feel like maybe there's been a little bit of stress for a lot of people in the last week. I've certainly been a little bit stressed this past week. So, while I am enthusiastic about venting that stress on Twitter, as those of you who follow me may know, I'd sort of like to avoid that this morning, if that's okay with you all. So I'm happy you're here.
Travel to a better time.
Yes, we'll travel to a better time. the year 485 in mythical Great Britain.
You know.
Which, in our version of things is actually a better time, so great.
A more feminist, more queer, more ideal.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Arthurian England.
Still, nevertheless, more invading Saxons. So, it goes up and down. I see, are all three of you drinking coffee?
Yes.
Oh, man, I'm so jealous. I woke up super early, which for me is 9 a.m. I woke up super early for Pendragon today, and I was like, should I go make coffee or should I just lie in bed and read? And I chose the latter of those two options.
Yeah, it's a tough call.
It is. But my new coffee maker has gotten here and I've used it a couple times and it's so delicious.
I'm super jealous of that thing. Your Instagram is ridiculous.
It's so cool. It's so fun. Yeah.
Your little alchemist workshop.
Yeah, I know. Coffee wizard.
I am 100% okay with being a coffee wizard. That is on brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, has anything fun or cool or neat happened to y'all in the last week? Jess, what about you?
Fun or cool or neat? Not really. I have been working on finally putting together a website for myself.
Oh, I saw your teasers of that. It looks super nice.
Trying out Squarespace, and it seems pretty easy to use, so I'm gonna stick with it. And hopefully within a week or so, I'll have something. Yeah, I haven't delved into that for a very long time. I had to make a portfolio site for myself in college, but it's a whole new world now.
I made a portfolio site for myself about 3 or 4 years ago now, and it's basically been that ever since. And I don't really think it's quite cutting the bill as far as showing off what I have been up to in the last 3 or 4 years. So I definitely need to.
Yeah, I'm having more and more awesome opportunities thanks to people like Steven. So I want a site to link people to when they ask me what the hell I'm up to.
What do you do on the internet? Yeah, totally.
A lot of stuff, actually.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited. I can't wait to see it.
Good.
Cool.
Really cool.
Eric, how about you? What cool has happened in the last week?
Few things. One, I started. I got a job interview again for a new. Really looking forward to this new position, which is really cool. So that's fun. I like job interviews. I'm one of those weirdos who don't get really that stressed about it. It just seems like a lot of fun. But then on Thursday, I played one of the most amazing, exhausting games of Downfall, which is a story game by Carolyn Hobbs. It's by less than 3 games, and boy, that was. Imagine a world.
Imagine a
world that's two planets that can see each other that are getting colonized, right?
Yeah.
We were the first planet to get colonized, and of course our terraforming didn't go well, and so of course we're all kind of on the shit planet, while the other planet called Prudence is this glorious fucking jungle, perfect world, and we're all jealous of them, but we cannot say that we're jealous of them because our entire planet is rooted in the way the game works is that you're all you build this civilization that's based on a flaw, and you watch how this flaw kind of unravels this place, and you have a hero trying to desperately stop this flaw and
that sounds
reform
awesome.
it. And so like, and you develop it, and like, so our thing was jealousy, and so the idea was that you couldn't do this. And anyways, like, imagine getting blackmailed by your daughter in order to get ahead in this sort of like social media filled world, and she doesn't know that you're her father because of the ways of jealousy and stuff. You can't say who you love, you don't know who your kids are, and there's like this big thing. And it was like, oh boy, it was this really, really sad, like heart-wrenching. I was exhausted by the end of it. It was so good.
That sounds pretty wild.
Yeah. That's why I play games, though.
Yeah.
It was great. So
super awesome.
It's a great game. Downfall. Highly recommend it. Highly, highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's very narrative heavy. I've heard like you kind of just do a lot of storytelling, and it's very loose on the mechanics, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's very like you do a little bit of setup of like designing what that world's gonna be, and it's like this very like traceable kind of like design of the game for like a world. It's like amazing world gen part of the game if you want to build a civilization, and then then it's kind of like you just kind of slowly do this freeform kind of rotating these different types of roles, and then it's it's a lot of fun.
This is not a PC game, right?
If you want to see an example of it played, you can go to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/Eric Vulgaris. And I have an entire portfolio of several games of Downfall. I highly recommend you watch.
I'm gonna link this into chat.
But that's
because
after.
That sounds
that's
really cool.
after we get into some King Arthurian. Super fun today.
Super awesome. That sounds awesome. I'm probably gonna buy that. I would love to play. Is it? I mean, it's convenient for like a one shot with friends.
It is. It is exclusively a one shot game.
Awesome. That's great.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a couple dudes at work who I played some Lamentations of the Flame Princess with, and I would love to get back together with them for some other little weird games. Super cool. Kira, have you done anything fun or exciting or interesting this past week?
Yeah, I totally have.
Yes.
I was in. I mean, a lot of exciting things have happened.
It's always disappointing to me when someone's like, "No, I've done nothing exciting or fun or happy in the last week."
I mean, sometimes you have weeks like that, you know.
I'm boring.
It's true.
That's my brand. What can I say?
Yes, websites are important and exciting.
No, those are great. Yeah, that is fun and cool and exciting.
I sat on my laptop. It was awesome.
Super stoked, exciting times. What did I do? Oh, so I traveled for work. I work in an art school in Columbus, and I was in San Francisco and LA this past week, and that was a crazy, like, you know, lots of travel trip. But when I was in LA, I did two awesome things. One was go to the Bradbury Building, which is where Blade Runner was filmed, like a lot of the scenes from Blade Runner.
Right.
Yeah, so that was cool. It's like the oldest building in LA, lots of architecture. There was like a plaque on the wall that was like, "This is where Ridley Scott filmed the scene in Blade Runner."
That's awesome.
So that was really beautiful and cool because I'm a Blade Runner nerd. And the other thing was I went to a reptile museum. And yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with snakes right now. Like if you look at my Twitter, it's like 99% snake photos and videos. And it's okay. I've accepted my fate. I'm in love with snakes right now. And I got to hold a 60-pound 3-year-old Burmese python. So it's like this giant yellow and white. It's like the mastiff of snakes. It's like this giant big puppy dog of a snake. And it's adorable. I have lots of, if you want to see videos of a cute, adorable giant snake, go look at my Twitter and scroll down. You'll see some yellow and white videos of this cutie. That was the highlight of my week, is holding this giant.
I did see those. Those are
very
are
cute.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
She
that's
was adorable.
great. Let me think. Did I do anything fun, exciting, or interesting this week? Uh-oh. I don't know. I've been really loving going to the gym. It's super, super great. Like every time I go, it's just like an immediate awesome boost to my mood. And I'm still in like that awesome noob gains period where like every time I go, I'm like adding 10 pounds to my maximum lift, and I'm just like, I am the strongest person ever.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? I say that so many times that it's the mental effects of going to the gym that really last for me. Than anything.
Definitely. Yeah, so that's been super awesome.
Endorphins, man.
Since the last time that we saw each other chat, I got a collar with a bell on it for Kintsugi. So now she has a collar, which occasionally bothers her, but she's mostly okay with it now. And now I can always hear where she is around the house, but more importantly, so can Kiska. so that she doesn't just go like pounce on my other cat all the time without any warning. So, yes.
A bell for the mighty predator.
Yes, you may hear the mighty predator's tiny bell at various points through the stream. Though right now she's actually behaving quite well. I also got like bitter spray stuff to spray all over my computer cables right there.
Oh man!
And so like every time since I got that she's hopped up there and started like chewing on them, she kind of like she chews on them and then she like licks herself a bunch and then she like bites at them because she's angry that they gave her a bad flavor in her mouth, and then she like runs because it tastes bad. But it's so funny to watch her get mad at them because she chewed on them and they tasted bad.
I love it when cats get angry at things. It's
Yes,
really funny.
it's so funny because cats get so mad. They are uniquely capable of getting mad.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
The hubris of these cables.
Yes! How dare they?
Defy me.
Yeah, this look like
Yeah.
get in your face. They
Yeah.
look at it, and then they turn around. That's how you know they're really mad, because they turn around at you.
Oh yeah.
You get it back.
Cats, such special creatures.
So great.
All right. Let's do some Pendragon. So,
Yes.
I think today's show is gonna be fun. We're gonna just see like a couple of little vignettes from the various nights' experiences of winter. So before we get into it, Elaine and Nidian, you were both here last time. Can you talk to us about what happened last time? Someone give us a summary.
Sure.
A lot of things happened actually. We met some pretty friendly type foreigners as we were traveling back to our excuse me, our settlement. Why am I blanking on the word for where we live?
Your manor,
Manor?
right?
My manor.
Yeah, settlement appropriate.
And we got to talking to them, and they said that their lands had been conquered, and they had come to Britain in order to ask for help.
Do you remember
And-
where their lands were?
They were Aquitanian.
Aquitanian.
They're not quite
Which is-
Aquitanian, Neustrian, which is just north of Aquitania, in France. So, but
Yeah.
he was a praetor of the Roman Empire.
Right, they're essentially the Roman conquerors of where my ancestors came from. But we determined that Elaine is like, that was so far in the past that her family line is like very cool with the Romans. Like they brought us like great culture and all this stuff, and there was no reason to be hateful toward these people. So she was able to befriend them, and we brought them to oh my god, I'm so sorry. We brought them back to our Lord and introduced them, and we had a nice feast, and eventually made our way south, because that's where they were intending to go in the first place, to try and persuade the South to help them. And I'm also blanking on what the South is called.
Cornwall.
Cornwall.
So that's the little it's a little peninsula on the southwest side of of Britain.
Mm. And they were not very friendly people.
Yeah.
And hurt Elaine's pride a little bit, because we have learned that she is quite prideful.
In an epic flinging of nightly insults back and
Yes.
forth.
Yes, some disses were had back and forth on both sides, but they eventually let us in. And then I don't know, something occurred that we
weren't privy to it.
privy to within the chambers of Cornwall, because we were outside. We weren't allowed to come in and talk. But something went down, and they basically threw us out. extremely angry, extremely insulted, as it seemed. And I don't really know. Like, I'm still not really sure if he actually intentionally insulted this guy or not, or if it was just a sort of like, we don't want to help you. We have our own shit to deal with. How dare you come here and ask us for this? Because that's also pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
But the real kicker is that they came after us in the night after we left.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We had
the
to cut them
cravens.
down, unfortunately.
Yeah, the cravens of Cornwall.
The Cravens of Cornwall came after us in the night. And we had no choice. We had no choice. But
Most dishonorable of them.
Yeah.
yeah, it was intense.
Cool. So, yes, after that intensity, I think the first thing that we wanted to see this year is Dwinwin's Feast.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, one of the things that you were going to do to earn yourself a little bit more glory in 486, Dwinwin,
Yes.
was throw a feast. So, how much did you spend on that feast? Do you remember?
I spent all of the money. I don't remember how much, but it was the most amount that you could spend, I think. I want to say like 10, I don't know.
I think it was quite high, but I forget. Let's see. Is it on your sheet or?
I feel like I may have recorded it on the manor sheet.
Yeah, it's probably over here.
How do I get to that?
Right.
I have to change the sheet for you all in order to be able to see that. But yeah.
Yeah,
Here we
I
are.
saw it earlier this morning, and I was trying to do some math because I bought something.
Right. Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
You bought some upgrades: a rampart, a patron to a scholar, and a vineyard.
That's right.
I see that. That's pretty awesome.
We got some grapes now.
Sick.
Oh my god. Does it stay on there? I'm trying to scroll over.
Yeah, it doesn't say exactly, but I know that you did tally it for the purposes of
glory?
earning glory. So maybe
Yeah.
that's where it's stored. Libram spent says, 5 Libram feast, so for 5 glory, which is a lot. Like normally a knight maintains themselves on 6 Libram a year. And so, like, that's an extra, almost an entire year's salary spent just on one feast.
Yeah.
Wanky.
Like this is my Playboy night feast.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm rolling in it. I got so much money. I've never had this much money before. Let's have a huge party.
So hang on, Dwinwin, you have 2 people living at your primary manor with you, right?
Yes, because I have the father of our child.
Yes. Did you actually have a kid? I think you didn't.
I don't. Oh, maybe I didn't.
No, I think I remember that you did not successfully have a child, but not for lack of trying.
Yeah. Yeah, we were. Lady Adwin and I were trying really hard. I don't know if we named our surrogate.
Well, yeah. Let's figure out a name. So there's Lady Adwin, your wife.
Yeah.
And then, is this man purely a surrogate, or is he a lover, or is he more like a steward that you're employing, or what?
I think he is I think he's a lover. Let's go with that.
Yeah,
he's
sure.
And progressive.
Let's see. Maybe we can quickly pull up some medieval English names.
Yes.
How about Beauvalet?
Sounds great.
All right. Mr. Beauvalet.
Beauvalet. Or Beau.
Yeah, probably Beau for short, which is great. Awesome. Okay, so you're throwing a feast. Like you have 5 Libram to spend. What are you spending it on? What's the biggest expenditure for this feast?
What's the feast theme?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's winter, right?
Yeah. Maybe this is like shortly after Christmas or something like that. Who knows?
Okay, so it's probably like the Higgelig or however you pronounce that. It's like it's very cold outside, and we would like to gather together and remember friendship and family and be warm and cozy together by some fires and stuff like that. So probably that type of theme, like some kind of cozy, warm family thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you throwing like a bonfire out in the courtyard, or?
Totally.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, like 3 bonfires. They're beautiful. We've had like wrought iron, like little decoration fences to go around them or whatever they are to contain the coals.
Nice.
I don't know if we have coals, maybe wood. And yeah, I don't know. There's like beautiful, like glowing warm torches everywhere, and it's very, very warm. Everything that could be warm. Maybe big red velvet things. I don't know what they would be. Curtains.
Sure.
Yeah.
Velvet curtains.
We've gathered some rare flowers from like across the other side of the country they're only growing there, and so it's like some kind of life is here, and like I don't know, there's like and dogs and like I don't know.
Dogs.
Yeah, like dogs that are always like in medieval.
Oh yeah. Well, you've certainly got a few dogs yourself, I'm sure, for hunting with, as well as all of your knightly friends. The Lady Adwin and Mr. Beauvalet probably have their own sets of hounds.
Yeah, totally. And so probably the thing, to answer your question, that I spent the most money on is the food. The food is amazing. And it's hard to get food in winter, right? So we've got some delicious, roasts and vegetables and spices.
Ooh.
Yes, it smells wonderful.
So like you're going out on the spices, and maybe that was like a big expense you're importing from like Africa and the Middle East.
That's saffron.
Yeah, maybe it's kind of exotic. Exotic, Eastern.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Let me see. Who have you invited to the feast that you're most excited about attending? Who's a non-player character? What NPC have you invited that you're most excited about attending, and why?
I don't know too many NPCs.
Oh, we're just making one up.
We're just making one up?
Yeah. This is, for whatever reason, Dwin knows somebody in the knightly circles, and she's really excited about this person coming to the feast.
Who would be a fun person to have?
I mean, is there like a hound master or like a spice sort of aficionado, or someone who like is bringing a cask of their own like fine wine from their vineyard as like a gift to you in your first starting year of your own vineyard or something? Who knows?
Totally. How about like maybe an old family friend, like an old friend to my mother, who's like maybe like a retired knight.
Yeah.
She is, she hasn't seen my manor yet, and I'm really excited to like have her here and show off all of the things that I've done with my life, because everybody thought that I would fail.
Did she also think you would fail, or was she like always a quiet, passionate supporter of Dwin?
She was a quiet, passionate supporter.
Yeah. Would you roll 1d6 for me, please?
I would love to. As soon as I can get to the roll 20. Where are you, roll 20? Missed all my windows.
Whoops.
Right.
Flip the R into the slash.
Yep.
/R 1d6. 2. All right. Let's see what that means for this visitor of yours. So she is actually quite well renowned at being excellent at music.
Yes.
So, renowned for music.
In her retirement days, she has taken up the lute.
The lute. We need a name for her. Let's figure out one. Oops.
I mean, yeah.
I don't have a name tag. Let me...
Let's see. I'll link this to you.
Oh, okay.
Cool. So yeah, Agnes, Alice, Avis, Beatrice, Cecily, Emma, Isabella, Joan, Juliana, Marjorie, Matilda, Rohesia.
Those are all really good.
And then there's a whole bunch down. If you scroll down, there's female names, uncommon ones, about halfway down the page.
Beatrice sounds great.
Beatrice. Awesome. And also, there was someone that you had to invite. And this person is the person that you're least excited about attending. And why aren't you excited? And why did you have to invite them no matter what?
My sister, because we haven't talked in 5 years and we hate each other.
Okay.
But it's a family obligation. This is a family drama episode.
Is she a knight or is she a steward?
I think that she was now I can't remember. I think she was a knight. I think she was also a knight.
Okay. Haven't spoken 5 years.
Yeah.
Why did you stop speaking?
She thinks that I was disgracing the family and not doing the family name good. And she's the good sister. She did everything perfectly.
Is she older?
She's older.
So maybe she has. So like this is like her coming to see your manor, one of your now 6 manors that you've married into, and like maybe it's like your opportunity to feed her some humble pie.
Yeah.
Awesome. What's your sister's name?
Okay. My sister's name is Alice.
Alice. All right. Roll 1d6 for Alice as well.
Yeah. Third, is that like are you looking off of a skill chart?
No, I've built a little list of things that they could be good at.
That's cool.
And Alice is very excellent at falconry.
Yes, that seems perfect.
Yeah, okay, so she shows up, and she's got like her finest falcon on her arm as she rides up with her squire. Her squire's name, incidentally, is Clarimond.
Cool.
Yeah. And she's got this beautiful falcon with bright red wings, it's got a hood over its head that is made out of exquisite red leather with patterning sort of printed into it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, excellent. Yeah. So, do you want to try to like are you trying to just buy like the best foods ever, or are you trying to like sustainably gather foods from your local area?
Oh, wow, that's an ethical question. I wasn't prepared for that, Steven. This one's throwing me off.
Feasts are ethical conflicts.
Well, I probably would want to. I care about the people around me, or Dwin does. So
yeah,
she would probably want to support the local farmers and local families because those are the people who she's inviting to.
Sure.
Yeah. So this is for them, and if there's any way she can help them by buying their meat or their bread, she would do that.
Awesome. Would you would either you or Lady Adwin roll for stewardship to see like how sustainably you can procure the goods you need for this feast?
How do I roll for Lady Adwin?
I believe that you may have a spot on your sheet for her now.
Like she's a person?
Yes. So
on
on your people tab now you've got family Lady Adwin, and she's got a stewardship skill that you can just click the button for. And I believe very nice. Look at that. I believe that this was added very recently after our last play session by Romacron, who has been doing some excellent updates to the Roll20 King Arthur Pendragon sheet for us. It's been really, really awesome of him.
Yeah,
so
that's super awesome.
shout outs to Romacron.
Thank you.
Awesome. So yeah, Lady Adwin probably goes to like your local peasants, and she's paying them what you can afford, which is quite a lot for the feast that you're putting together, in order to take what they're able to give. So you have a bunch of people who are willingly contributing, their barley or their oats or a suckling pig, and also your commoners do not develop any more hate of you for taking greedily from their stores. So that's really good.
That was a trick question about my commoners.
And then are you trying to like build meals that are targeted towards any individual attendees? Like, are you trying to like create a meal that's specifically appealing to Beatrice, or specifically like to rub your success in the face of Alice?
No.
Okay.
No. Everyone eats equally here.
Sure.
This is a socialist party.
I mean, like, obviously everybody's going to be eating the same thing, but if you had prepared something specific sort of in memory of or in reference to someone, that would be a thing you could do. But
yeah, well, actually, because that's kind of cool. Like, I could prepare something nice for my family, in particular, like some kind of braided bread or something.
like a family dish?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like some, stuffed with meats or something like that we used to make all the time. And it's maybe it's less fancy in some way.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a courtesy roll.
Yeah, let's see how like the eldest person of your family, like how you carried the recipe and what they
Right.
think of it,
Yeah.
right?
This is your
This
No
is totally
your
what this
mother's
role
old
means,
friend,
right?
practically a member of the family herself.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Too much salt or whatever.
So much pressure.
She's eaten your great grandmother's version of this dish.
Yeah.
I'm really stressed out by this.
Come on, you.
Oh
This is
damn! Look at that! You nailed it.
Yeah.
It is
Like,
perfect.
this was more stressful than Mortal Kombat.
That's great.
Did I get my mom's recipe right, or my grandma's
I
recipe
know,
right?
isn't it? It's nerve-wracking.
That's awesome. Yeah. So,
Cool.
Nidian and Elaine, which of you arrives first? Why don't each of you roll an energetic test to see?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. So it's Eric.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was gonna say I do.
Yeah, Nidian manages to get there first. Elaine, you're just, maybe you think you've got a little bit of extra time and you leave a little bit late in the morning and you show
You
up
get
in the
trapped
evening.
by the snows.
Yes.
You have to slog there.
Yeah. No, I think I actually am like a little bit nervous and like making sure that my cloth is as pressed as it possibly could be and that I'm nice and coiffed because she granted me such a kindness by lending me some cash.
Oh,
That's
no.
right. Yeah.
I'm coming to this party basically to like thank her. So I think that's why I'm a little nervous.
Nice. That's right. I remember that.
Cool.
Cool. So yeah, when Nidian arrives, Dwin, how do you greet him? What's the first order of business for new arriving guests? I figure there's a bunch of people. This is something that you're probably throwing for 30 knights and their wives or husbands and their squires. So it's a large event.
What's the fashion like for this? Is this a I would be wearing the proper attire. I just want to know what that is for this, right?
It's like
business casual.
It's a formal holiday celebration, so it's not like at court where you'd be wearing your fanciest fancier, but something kind of nice.
Nidian, why don't you roll us a courtesy test to see how well your garb represents yourself?
Like if you're able to hit the dress code.
Right. Oh!
No!
Nidian is just slightly too overdressed.
Yeah, I am overdressed. Yeah. What?
Cool.
Yeah, you know what it is. You know why I'm overdressed? It's because I don't own like the level below. Like I own a suit and like t-shirts. That's all I own.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
show up in a suit. You know what I mean? Like I'm too poor. I don't have that. All I have is the very nice clothes. The clothes that I think like Sir Roderick like gave me.
Yeah,
Those
it's
are
like
the clothes that I wear. Like
you have what you wore to your knighting and
Yeah,
rags.
that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly. So like that's when I show up. I'm like, okay. Oh, I mean, that looks good.
Nice.
I do kind of look like I'm a little overdressed. I'm like, ooh, I'm peacocking in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, oh yeah, and yeah, because I see you in a much more muted thing, and I look a little embarrassed. I'm like, ooh, I should have read the invitation a little better.
Yeah.
Oh.
I try to make an excuse for myself. Maybe you actually know that I don't have other clothes though, so maybe you can, you know that as a fact though.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Dwin probably wouldn't tease you about it because it's a matter of money, and I think she's slightly embarrassed by how much money she has now. Like, it's a lot of money. She's
Embarrassed, but spending it all on a lavish party for all her friends.
But that's
Yeah.
not her friends. Like, she doesn't know what to do with it, right?
Yeah. How do you? Do you know about Nidian's financial situation? Like, how much? Do you know anything? Okay.
Are you? Is
Yeah.
Poor?
I'm super poor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nidian has
I'm
also
really
like
poor.
destroyed his
I'm
manners.
poor, and I just like clear cut my
Yeah.
wins for somebody.
So Nidian, I think
I'm not in good shape, guys.
you're
I'm
writing
not in good shape.
you're writing into a Dwinwin's manor, which of course is a township of probably 150 little people.
Little people.
Yeah. It's actually a fairy township. No, you're riding in through town. It probably actually looks like a fairy township because there's a blanket of snow covering everything, and all of the peasant houses are decked out in a slightly decorated manner. There's sprigs of holly covering doors and mistletoe hanging down and torches lit everywhere, and kids playing in the snow and building snowmen.
Yeah, it's like one of those like picturesque like little like like those little like town setups you can do for like Christmas. It's
Yes,
like very
it's
much
like
on,
that.
on point with that.
Yeah. And you notice you're riding through town in your the one suit of finery that you own, and you look around and you just admire the beautiful trees that Dwinwin still has on her manor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm very impressed at your the way you keep your manor.
Cool.
Peter, your squire next to you, says, "Oh wow, she's got a really nice manor."
Shut up, Peter. Don't talk about those things in polite company.
Yes, sir.
So Dwin probably comes to greet you at wherever the gates. I don't know.
Yeah, the gates of your house, I suppose.
Yeah, or the inner area, the courtyard. I don't know. Sure. And so it's her and Lady Adwin and Bo are all greeting everybody, but Dwin sees you and turns and like walks away from everyone else and kind of beckons Adwin and Bo over with her.
Oh, nice.
And tries to give you a big hug.
Oh yeah, I welcome it. Yeah.
I think
Oh, mate.
all your currently gathered guests, maybe 10 or 15 of them have arrived so far, and they all just sort of stop and stare as you call Lady Adwin and Beauvalet over to greet your friend Nidian.
Yeah.
Great.
And everybody knows this is an important guest of yours.
Yes, that's the idea.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're all in like I don't know, like wool outfits or something warm and festive with like things.
Oh yeah, I was definitely thinking some kind of like fur kind of like cloak kind of stuff. And I probably, when we were like getting ready to embrace or whatever, I say like I probably remark about like what a beautiful party and town set up, something matched only by like the beauty matched only by you and your generosity for doing this. It's thank you for putting this on.
Nice.
Oh, Sir Nidian, and she like pats you on the back heartily. Yeah. I'm so glad that you could make it. You and your squire. I'm really glad that you're here. I have so much food. I don't even know what to do with all of it. And the wine, did you know that I have a vineyard now?
You have a vineyard?
Yes, you have to try some of my wine.
That sounds fantastic. I'm very, very excited about that.
Nice.
Cool. She walks you over to the casks and, we start
awesome.
talking by the wine.
Yeah, you're telling us about the various tannin levels and where you got your grapes.
The
really
mulling spices that you had imported
Yeah.
from distant lands.
Yeah, I'm basically like microbrewing in my garage right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're I'm just nerding out at it. Yeah.
That is exactly how microbrewers in their garage respond. It's like, oh, let me tell you about all of the details of wine making.
Yeah.
I have a question for Steven and Kira.
Yeah.
Would Lady Arwen be here?
Oh, yes.
Arwen? Do you mean the Lady Jenna? You mean Earl Roderick's daughter?
Yeah, Earl Roderick's daughter. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I think
Jenna.
probably Earl Roderick is a little
not-
bit outside of the social circle that
Yeah.
Dwin would invite to the feast.
That's fair.
It's
Okay.
probably the sort of thing where she would like send him a formal invitation as like, because it's the thing to do, and then he would also decline because it's the thing to do.
Okay. Never mind. All right. Cool. I just wondering.
Was that your love interest? I couldn't remember.
His
I'm working
prospective
on it.
love interest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry that Lady Arwen couldn't, or Lady
Jenna.
Jenna couldn't make it. They sent their regrets.
Mm.
Oh, it's okay. I was really looking forward to talking about Earl Roderick over, some cool battle tactic stuff.
Really?
Don't worry about it.
I'm actually happy he's not here.
You're right, though. Yeah. You know what? No, you're right. You're completely right. You know what? I shouldn't be thinking about business and stuff like that. It's a time for friendship and celebration. Let's. Right, it's a auspicious sign.
Yeah. I think
let's relax.
you hear a knight ride up and dismount off of her horse, and she pulls off her helmet. And like, what's your sister's hair like?
So we all have dark hair, and mine's kind of wild. Hers is like gorgeous and perfect. She's
It's like perfectly straight all the time.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
like she's like the popular girl
Jelly.
in high school or whatever. She just looks perfect all the time.
Yeah. So this knight hops down off of her horse, and you look over at her, and she's just like perfectly attired for the occasion, like just exactly what the dress code is, but like with like subtle accents to her outfit that show off that she's doing it better than anybody else here. Like her color coordination across her outfit is just super on point, and she has like her hawk, her falcon on her hand. The bright red of its muse is just like popping against the muted colors of her outfit. She takes off her helmet, and her black hair falls in like a perfect waterfall.
Commercial.
Yeah, exactly, down her back. And she looks at you, Dwinwyn, and she smiles, and then she looks at Nidian and she says, "Well, you've certainly chosen some interesting companions, Dwin."
Dwinwyn frowns.
Yeah.
And gives Nidian a look and says, "Sir Nidian, you'll have to excuse my sister. She insists on bringing that falcon with her everywhere."
But of course, surely you're going to have falconry as an event at your feast, won't you?
Won't. And I might actually say, like, yeah, don't you? I like looking at you because I actually know a little thing about falcon that I'm going to hide a little bit, but
Actually,
Yeah, don't you?
would I have prepared for falconry for this event?
So-
do you want to just say yeah?
You would probably have prepared some event. So it's either one of these four big things usually:
Okay.
hunting, falconry, oration and music, or gaming.
Cool. I mean, it should probably be falconry because you two are good at falconry. So
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
I think there's a moment in the evening where she's sort of goading you. She says, "Yes, my falcon is the finest falcon in all of Britain. It is so excellent, it can spot a rabbit at 500 meters. I'll wager that I will beat everybody here in falconing. In fact, I'm so confident that I'm willing to wager my falcon's newest hatchling on the sport this evening."
Well, I don't want to brag or anything like that, but really, it's not about the strength of the falcon; it's how you use it.
Oh.
I will take your wager.
Nice. Yeah. Let's see, like, is there a trait? You've already earned a check to proud this year, but that's okay. Yeah, cool. I think you stand up and you make your rejoinder, and she looks you up and down, and then she sort of scoffs and says, "Ah, very well."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I just a slight retcon. I probably say like, let this interesting company make it more interesting. Like, let's. I will take your wager. And then say it's how you use it and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, I might actually at that point like introduce myself to her. Right?
Okay.
Like I'm Sir Nini and kind of thing, and finally get her name and etc.
Yeah. She pauses for a moment and says, "Sir Nidian, the son of Pelin. I didn't recognize your coat. Ah, well, it's nice to know that my sister is hanging out with such classy people."
Well, if you were to speak with me every once in a while, you'd know the type of company that I kept, Alice.
Yeah, she sort of waves her hands and says, "Oh, busy, busy. You know how the times are. Saxons to kill, garrison duty to perform, manors to run." Yeah.
Yes,
Wife
you
to
always
murder
are
and
the
go
more
to the frame
accomplished
for it.
one.
Yeah.
What was that, Eric? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it's just like my wife to murder and go to
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Spouses to murder,
yeah.
fortunes to claim.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think by this time in the evening, people are settling down with food and drink, and Elaine, you're there as well. And your mother's friend Beatrice is actively praising your excellent braided bread with stuffed meats.
Yes.
Cooking. Oh my! Yes, I remember. It tastes just like your mother's mother used to make. Really, darling, you've done excellently. Oops. And you hear a banging on your door. Bang, 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 bang.
Shit. Okay, that sounds serious. What do I get? Do I answer the door? I'll go check on it. That's unusual.
Yeah. Everybody that you invited is here. Like you've got everybody that you know of.
Sure. So she frowns and she goes to check on this loud banging and see what's up. What is amiss?
Yeah. You open the door, and there's a foreign knight standing there in strange garb, flanked by two companions in similar strange garb. His two companions have large square shields strapped to their back, and each of them carries a long spear against their shoulder. The knight in front of you is wearing bronzed armor, a bright velvet purple cloak across his back, and a tall bronze helmet with a red plume.
Ooh, very fancy.
He bellows as you open the door. He says, "Ave and greetings! It seems as though there is merriment going on at this place."
There is indeed. This is my manor. I am Sir Dwin.
Sir Dwin, it is great to meet you, forsooth! I am the Praetor Syagrius. I come from the far-off lands of Neustria, north of Aquitaine, seat of the Western Roman Empire. Pour me some wine!
I look him over, and it's just him and like his two companions.
Yeah.
It's just the three of you.
With their horses behind them, yeah.
Sure. He seems boisterous and ridiculous, and it doesn't seem like he's a threat. And I am very generous.
Okay.
So I will allow him into my manor.
Very nice. Do you make a show of like letting him in? Is this something that you're very public about, or are you sort of like trying to like herd him over towards the back table in the corner or whatever? Because like, if you are generous, and that's something that you sort of want to be known for, then it makes sense for you to sort of play it up in front of your friends and family and be like, oh yes.
Yeah, but like in a kind and humble way, like not like
yeah,
so
of course,
watch me, but more like well, we have a visitor. He seems very eager to join our feast, and we have so much food to go around. Everyone, this is I can't remember his name.
The Praetor Syagrius.
Praetor Syagrius.
Yes.
And Praetor is like a knight, right?
He's like a lord. He's like Earl Roderick, basically.
Oh, praetor means like lord.
Yeah, he was the basically the overseer of the Western Roman Empire in Neustria.
So and we haven't had any trouble with Romans.
Nope.
There's no reason to mistrust Romans.
Nope, not at all.
Okay. Cool.
No.
You have no suspicion of Romans.
Yeah.
Trait.
Aren't they also viewed a little favorable? Maybe not like mechanically, but like
I think
like, they did great things, right?
Right. Well, like the Roman Empire is known.
They got shit done.
Right. They're a huge bastion of civilization, for example.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where all the art lives and the culture and all of the empire and the what am I thinking of? Colonialism.
Yeah, very nice.
Yes.
All right, so why don't you go ahead and increase your hospitality passion by 1 for welcoming the Praetor Syagrius.
Okay.
You bring him a cup of wine. He says, "No, not that wine. Bring me the good wine." And he strides off into the crowd, mingling and saying, "Yes, I'm the Praetor from Rome. Don't you know what Rome is?"
Wait, she walks up to Dwin walks up to Elaine and says, "I feel like you've finally arrived in society when strangers show up to your door because they've heard you're having a party."
I'm not quite sure how he found you, but he's a very nice man, boisterous but very kind.
It seems like it. I hope he doesn't get too out of hand. He looks a little three sheets to the wind already.
Yeah.
Well, he trusts us, so I think we should be able to rein him in if things get out of hand.
Maybe you can help me keep an eye on him.
It kind of gives me a little like Papyrus vibe from Undertale.
Yes.
Hello.
I want to be your friend.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so your feast goes off fantastically. People praise your cooking and the spices that you use. Your local populace throws their own feast in their own homes and in their community to sort of feast along with their lord.
Oh.
And the evening passes uneventfully. Your old friend Beatrice does strike up the lute late in the evening and entertains the room beautifully. There's a little bit of dancing, yes. I think at one point through the crowd you catch your sister Alice giggling behind her hand as the Praetor tries to impress her with talk of foreign lands.
Oh my goodness. Well, if at least I can make my sister happy with strange visitors.
Yeah, exactly. I think at some point late in the evening, she actually comes over to you, and you just have like a little moment of, hey, you did all right, little sis. With your 6 manors and your strange foreign Roman visitors. Yeah, all right, cool.
Thanks, big sis. I mean, I wasn't looking for your approval, but I'm glad to have it last.
Nice.
Damn. All right.
She's still a little bitter, I think. Maybe she responds that way. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, she's trying to act like she's happy for you, but you can tell she's stinging just a little bit now that you're having success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Gentleman is like, but I'm really glad that you're here, and it would be nice to see more of you.
Yes. Well, she nods and says, "Well, perhaps it is time that we set aside our old conflicts. If you're willing to apologize for what you've done, then I'm willing to forgive you."
Excuse me?
Oh, I can see it's too much. And she just sort of like turns and flounces away. Her perfect hair swinging.
Excuse me, Alice. What did you mean?
Oh, damn. Yeah, she turns around and she says, "Well, you've been ignoring me for 5 years. I can hardly see how this is appropriate behavior towards your own family." And, sort of like a couple people around you sort of hush. Oh, no.
I've been ignoring you. You haven't returned any of my letters at all. I've sent you, I don't know, 1 per month in the past few years while we were finding swords and lakes and on all of our adventures, all the adventures that we've been on. You know, like I summarized.
Yeah, she says
not a word.
1 per month. Well, someone's clearly a little over attached. There's like 1 or 2 people in the audience go. Yeah, but they can sort of tell like this is all very inappropriate.
You know, I thought that maybe once I was married and once I had a home and I was an esteemed knight, that you would finally treat me like an adult. That maybe you could be mature for 5 minutes at my own feast. You could treat me like a sister. But no, that's obviously too much for you. There's some childhood debt that I owe to you now. Well, whatever it is, why don't you just come out with it? And what are you so angry with me about? Like, I have written to you many times. Now you're telling me that I have never contacted you?
Yeah, she her face turns beet red and she says, and I expected a welcoming at this is what I see your hospitality is like. You treat some Roman foreigner, this stranger from another land, and he says, I'm from Rome, I'm a praetor.
Very important there.
Yeah, exactly. She says, you treat some foreigner from another land better than your own blood sister.
Oh my goodness, what is it that you want, Alice? How do you want to be treated? I rolled out everything that I possibly could. I have no more money to spend, no more hospitality to give.
Yeah, she just shouts at you, not all of us are so fortunate, dwin. And she just like runs out into the courtyard, tears streaming from her eyes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Dwin is pretty fired up about it, but she watches her and she realizes that maybe she had said the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Her eyes grow soft.
Family.
Yes. Cool.
Awesome. Well, she comes back in later, and it's clear she's subdued herself, and maybe some of the 1 or 2 of the things you said were true. So she slinks back in, and she doesn't want to miss out on the falconry. So
Sure.
tomorrow morning, let's roll a couple dice for the falconry and see who comes out on top. So it's everybody gathers out in the fields surrounding your estates, Dwin.
Okay.
Everybody has their favorite falcon or hawk or osprey or various birds of prey, and it's just about sending them out to find the best prey possible. So usually it's things like rabbits or other small game. So, would each of you make a roll of your falconry?
Sure.
And I will roll for Alice and Beatrice.
Yes.
I mean, I'm a little rusty. I haven't,
Yeah.
but I'll give it the old
I've got a
Helens and
3.
try.
Oh.
Rip.
No.
Wow, what?
Wait, I had a 13. I was feeling pretty good about that. Oh well.
What is... Oh, how strange. Huh, okay, fine. And then... So, yeah, Beatrice acquits herself quite well. She has a new hawk that she's fighting with. And then Alice... Wow, wasn't it showing the less than earlier?
I don't know.
Because I thought that it was when I rolled 1d20 less than something. So Alice's skill in falconry is a 16. So, yeah, I think of all 3 of you, it actually ends up being Alice who performs the best with her falcon.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, she's very clearly pleased when her falcon flies back to her, and he's got like 2 fat rabbits, one grabbed in each claw, and he's flying low to the ground, and he's heavy laden, and I think Dwin, yours probably brings back 1 rabbit, and then Alice's brings back like a couple of like voles or just some very small game. A squirrel or something. Yeah.
Mine brings back a sock.
Yes, Nidian, yours brings back a sock. One of Dwinwin's peasants comes up to you after and says, "Oh, I think that's mine. If you don't mind."
Mine.
Yeah.
Even my hawk is generous and looks out for the poor, everybody.
Yes.
Nice.
Generous talk.
Yeah. So Alice is very. You can see her eyes shining with pride for her falcon, and her muse, her what was it? Muse, I think, are the breeding hall, like the collection where you keep your falcons is your muse, I think.
I have no
Oh.
idea.
I'm forgetting. Anyway, her falcon lineage is like her pride and joy. Is there some sort of reward ceremony for like the victor of the falconing?
Oh, definitely. Yes. We'll have some. I don't know what you would get. Trying to think of like a medieval thing you would get as a reward. I don't know.
Maybe a portion of your expenditure was like the prize purse for this event.
Sure. Yeah, and like a bottle of wine or something like
Nice.
that.
Yeah. Your prizes are all bottles of wine from your personal vineyard. Like, thanks.
Yeah, that would be weird. Yeah. There's a prize purse. So, sure, and it's like a little ceremony, and Dwin is trying to be the bigger person.
Yeah.
And, forgive Alice for her outburst in front of all of her friends.
I think Alice is all subdued today and a little bit apologetic seeming. And as you hand her the prize purse, she says, "Sister, I think you may have been right, and perhaps I didn't respond to your letters as often as a good sister should. But I am happy for your successes. Thank you for inviting me."
Well, that's really lovely to hear, Alice. Thank you for saying that. And she offers her a hug after she hands her.
Yes, she embraces you happily. And, like one little tear gathers in the corner of her eye.
Oh, same with Dwin. It's like the same thing. It's mirrored.
Yes.
Sister tears.
Yes.
All right, and thus ends the story of Dwinwin's feast.
Aww.
Let's take a 5-minute break, and then when we come back, we'll see the story of Elaine's discovery of her spring on her manor, which will be very fun. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 5 minutes with more of Week 8, Year 487, The Adventure in 3 parts. So we'll see you in just a little bit.